All right, there's news just coming in. Dr. Samira Nandi, the chairman of the Organ Transplant and Gastrosurgery Department of Sir Gangaram Hospital, one of the leading hospitals of Delhi, has questioned the government's decision of shifting the 23-year-old gang rape survivor from Delhi to Singapore. Dr. Nandi says it was risky to airlift a critically ill patient.
To make a decision like this, you must think of, or like all medical decisions, the risks and the benefits. And I don't think the benefits of going to Singapore were great compared with India. The facilities in Singapore are very similar to the facilities in India. In fact, we may have more experience of dealing with this problem than people in Singapore. Secondly, I think the risks of flying a patient who's just had a cardiac arrest, who is in septicemia, who's on unstable blood pressure, were great. And I think there's no reason to even consider intestinal transplant at the moment. That is the third step. First, you must save her life, control her infection. Second, feed her by the vein. Third, if that doesn't work, then do intestinal transplant.
When do you think that this intestine transplant be possible with this girl? It's 2 months, 3 months time?
I think at least approximately 2 to 3 months.
So do you say this is non-medical thing and government should have,
Yeah, I can't understand. I think that I've talked to lots of my colleagues in the medical profession. None of them can understand why she was shifted. I've even talked to people who are looking after her, and they have told me that they didn't know that she was going to be shifted.
All right, let me go across to my colleague Shivaru to tell us more about how the medical fraternity is divided over the decision to move the 23-year-old gang rape survivor to Singapore.
Well, as it turns out, the decision to actually airlift the gang rape survivor out of Delhi and to Singapore wasn't at all a unanimous one. There has been conflict. There have been questions raised as well about why this was done, considering the risks that may have been there. But let's just go by the facts as we know them right now. There are facts for the shifting and there are facts against. The arguments for include the fact that only certain small level equipment was needed to actually transfer this particular patient, including the ventilator, and that wasn't such a big deal because they had a full aircraft. The Mount Elizabeth Hospital is an internationally renowned hospital. One of its specializations is in fact intestinal and liver transplants, so there was no problem as far as that was concerned. Also, the government, remember, says it was looking at what was medically best for the patient. They say they were actually looking into the advice of medical experts. But the question is, of course, whether this was a medical decision or a political decision. Was it a technical decision? There are arguments against what the government has done as well, shipping the rape survivor out to Singapore. Was it too early? Was it too early to shift this particular survivor out of Delhi, considering her very, very frail health? There is no question of a transplant at this particular stage. This is a very early stage right now. Even the doctors have said that the actual specialized care that she's going to undergo right now could stretch for several weeks. Why couldn't she have actually undergone that particular care in Delhi instead of shifting her out to Singapore, considering that there was this logistical nightmare there? There are super speciality hospitals here in India, in Delhi, in Hyderabad, in Chennai, in Mumbai, in Bangalore. There are a huge number of hospitals. In fact, people come from all over the world to India for very complicated surgeries. So there are questions about why India doesn't have this particular kind of, expertise as far as medicine is concerned, or do they actually? In fact, a little later, we're going to go through that as well. So the big question really is, was this a decision that was entirely premature, or was this the best that the government could have actually done given the situation and taking everything into account? That's the big question right now.